The world woke up to a dramatic headline. Chinese satellite exposes U.S. military moves in the Middle East again. In Washington, Pentagon officials scrambled for answers, while in Beijing, government spokespeople nodded with quiet satisfaction. At the center were high-resolution satellite images, published overnight by China's state-run Global Times. The images revealed intricate details of U.S. military bases in Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and Jordan, taken just days ago. Suddenly, secrets once hidden behind razor wire were laid bare for the world to see. With each new release, the shockwaves grow stronger. How will this new transparency reshape global security? The newly released Chinese satellite images leave little to the imagination. The photos zoom in on sprawling U.S. military compounds, capturing every detail from runways to guard towers. In Qatar, the Al Udeid Air Base is shown in stunning clarity, with long lines of aircraft and support vehicles lined up under the glare of the desert sun. In Saudi Arabia, Patriot missile batteries are visible, positioned with mathematical precision. Jordan's Muwafaq Salti Air Base is another focal point. The images capture new construction sites, fresh vehicle tracks, and clusters of temporary shelters. Analysts quickly noted the presence of C-130 transport planes, drones parked in rows, and large fuel tanks. The clarity is so sharp that individual service vehicles and even camouflage netting can be seen. These images were not filtered or cropped. They were released in full, allowing anyone with an internet connection to examine the layouts and movements of American forces. Social media was instantly filled with amateur analysts marking up the photos, speculating about troop numbers and operational readiness. The message from Beijing was clear. The age of hidden armies is over. As long as satellites orbit above, no military installation is truly secret. The evidence was right there, pixel by pixel, for all the world to see. These satellite images reach the public with unprecedented speed and clarity. Once tightly guarded by intelligence agencies, they now appear on news sites and social media within hours. The detail is stunning. You can count aircraft, trace missile launchers, and map entire bases. For journalists and researchers, this access is unprecedented. Citizens can hold governments accountable, but critical infrastructure is also exposed. The old rules of secrecy no longer apply. Anyone can become a watcher, a reporter, or a critic. For decades, military secrecy has been the foundation of operational security. Bases in the Middle East were designed to be remote, shielded by both geography and technology. But now, the spread of commercial and government satellites means those days are gone. Every runway, vehicle park, and weapons depot is exposed to prying eyes in the sky. This change has profound implications for U.S. strategy. Commanders can no longer assume their movements will go unnoticed. The risk of enemy observation has always existed, but now the world's media and even ordinary citizens have the same view as top-level intelligence agencies. Every deployment and construction project is instantly open to scrutiny. The loss of secrecy is not just a technical issue, but a psychological one. Soldiers and officers now operate knowing their every move could end up in the global spotlight. This visibility can affect morale, decision-making, and even the safety of personnel. At the same time, public access to these images fuels debate at home and abroad. Activists, watchdog groups, and foreign governments all use satellite data to press their own arguments. The old boundaries between official secrets and public knowledge are blurring fast. So, what did the Chinese satellites reveal exactly? The images of U.S. bases in Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and Jordan are, rich with detail. At Al Udeid Air Base, dozens of fighter jets and bombers are parked wingtip to wingtip. Large cargo planes appear ready for takeoff, while maintenance crews work on helicopters nearby. Rows of armored vehicles sit in neat lines, surrounded by temporary shelters and supply trucks. In Saudi Arabia, the images highlight advanced missile launchers, likely part of the Patriot defense system, aimed skyward. Support vehicles, radar dishes, and logistics hubs are clearly visible. The arrangement suggests a well-defended, high-alert posture, likely aimed at deterring regional threats. Jordan's base is a hive of activity. Construction cranes, fresh concrete pads, and new barracks hint at expansion. Analysts point out drone operations, with unmanned aircraft parked in secure enclosures. Fuel trucks and mobile communications units dot the landscape, all captured in sharp resolution. This level of detail is valuable not just for adversaries, but for ordinary citizens and journalists. It allows for independent verification of official claims and, challenges the idea that military actions can remain hidden in plain sight. The release of these satellite images sparked intense reactions across the Middle East. Social media in cities like Doha, Riyadh, and Amman exploded with speculation and debate. News outlets analyzed the images, raising questions about security and foreign military presence. In Washington, the Pentagon confirmed the images' authenticity, but warned of risks to operational security. Meanwhile, Iran used the images to highlight U.S. aggression and called for withdrawal. The debate reached ordinary people and analysts worldwide, making everyone part of the conversation. The era of satellite transparency is, kind of rewriting the rules of military strategy. Commanders must now plan operations with the assumption that almost everything can be seen, recorded, and shared. The element of surprise, so crucial in military doctrine, becomes much harder to achieve. Deception and camouflage are more important than ever, but their limits are visible from space. This new reality has forced militaries to adapt. Some respond with rapid movement and dispersal of assets, hoping to stay one step ahead of surveillance. Others invest in underground facilities or advanced decoys. Still, the basic fact remains: the world can watch, often in near real time. Transparency also brings new opportunities for public accountability. Watchdog groups, journalists, and even lawmakers can use satellite images to verify official statements and challenge falsehoods. This can lead to better oversight, but also to increased risk, as sensitive information spreads faster than ever. For the US and its allies, the challenge is to balance openness and security in a world where the sky is full of eyes. The tools of war have changed, and so too must the strategies for peace. China's decision to publish these satellite images was not just a technical feat, it was a strategic message. By showing off its space technology, Beijing demonstrates both capability and intent. The ability to capture and share such detailed images is a sign of growing Chinese power in the world of intelligence and surveillance. Diplomatically, the move sends a signal to both Washington and the broader international community. China positions itself as a watchdog over US actions, highlighting what it sees as American militarism in sensitive regions. This narrative is especially potent in the Middle East, where anti-US sentiment runs high in some quarters. But the release of these images is also a form of psychological warfare, a way to unsettle adversaries and shape global opinion. By making US military deployments public, China challenges America's ability to operate in secret and forces new debates about sovereignty, transparency, and trust. For Beijing, the benefits are clear enhanced prestige, diplomatic leverage, and a louder voice in global security affairs. The risks, however, are just beginning to emerge. With every new satellite image, the risks of misunderstanding and escalation grow. Even the clearest photos can be misread, especially in tense situations. A sudden buildup of vehicles may mean routine exercises or preparations for war. Without context, the information can fuel rumors, panic, or even preemptive strikes. There is also the problem of information overload. As more countries and companies launch satellites, the sheer volume of data becomes hard to manage. False interpretations and deliberate disinformation campaigns are real threats. Even well-intentioned transparency can lead to unintended consequences. Still, some believe that greater openness will ultimately bring more stability. When everyone can see what is happening, the hope is that surprises, and the wars they cause, will become less likely. Others worry that constant exposure will only sharpen tensions, making mistakes and misjudgments more likely. The world is at a crossroads. Will the new era of satellite transparency lead to a safer, more accountable future? Or will it simply add fuel to the fires of suspicion and rivalry that already burn so hot? Only time will tell.